Close your eyes, let's do a really wholesome visualization. Just see yourself in primary school and you are so full of this childish joy. Everything is just amazing. Everyone in your class in school is like a friend of yours. And then you get a little bit older and you get into high school and you start noticing that some of the girls your age are starting to fuck. Not you, but those other guys. The guys that they complain about and they tell you that they're all assholes, they're all jerks, but they're the ones that are getting them. You're struggling in high school, you're a video game nerd with loser Jeffrey friends. That's when the first signs of rejection from other people really start to hit. And then fast forward another 10 years and you're an average man who's struggling with his finances, with a porn addiction that you've had for over a decade. You want to attract a woman and so you consider cold approaching, but you're scared of being seen as a creep or a weirdo or the girl saying it was like sexual assault because you've seen all these crazy girls online. So you don't know what to do. You are completely and utterly lonely. So lonely that women would not even understand. Women don't even get lonely. The loneliest a woman will be, she still has infinite number of guys who want to be with her. She still has like 5 guys in her DMs. Yeah, sure, she can't get the guy that she really wants, but she still has like hundreds of guys who would happily wife her up. You have no one. And then worst of all, society, women, feminism, the education system, your government, your parents, movies, all tell you that you're the bad person, that you're privileged. I remember being in high school and my feminist teacher did something which I look back and think of how fucking crazy it was. She told us all to stand up in class. She looks at all of us and says, go and stand on that corner of the room if you're a feminist and you believe that women deserve equal rights. Go and stand on that side of the room if you aren't a feminist and you believe women don't deserve equal rights. You know, I'd love to tell you that I was some alpha male and I was like, yeah, you know, guys, I'm gonna go stand over here and, you know, fight for the boys. Bro, I was a fucking pussy. Where do you think I stood? Over there. Over there with the crusty other girls. I stood there like a little low-T bitch, stood next to the girls saying, yeah, you know, feminism is really important because women deserve equal rights. And I promise you this is the truth. It's so clear now when I look back, but I promise you this is the truth. Only 2 girls, no guys, only 2 girls stood on that side of the room who said that, you know, feminism and equal rights isn't actually needed. What kind of girls do you think they were? They were brown, they were Muslim, and they made awesome points. They said, at least in this country, feminism has already done its job. Women have equal rights now. In other countries, certainly we still need like equal rights there. In some countries, women can't vote and stuff. They made awesome points. Like they were actually, I remember them being so intelligent and they knew about like geography and shit. You know, they were talking about this country and this country. And my teacher was somewhat impressed, but she was expecting like little brown kid me or like some of the other white kids, the white boys, to be stood on that side. Think about that pressure that I went through that day, that I fucking crumbled with, of the potential of being socially ostracized if I went over there and said, yeah, you know, women don't deserve equal rights. And that's just one kind of bakwas that I went through in school and university, where there was this whole paradigm that women are oppressed, men have got privilege. Tell me one fucking privilege. Tell me one. Write down in the comments, any woman who's watching this, send me a DM. I'm 6'1", by the way. Send me a DM or write down in the comments one fucking law that is sexist against women. One law. Tell me one law that's sexist against women. You fucking can't, because there is not one law in Western society that is sexist against women. I can tell you hundreds. Maternity leave and paternity leave. Rape cases, sexual assaults, false accusations. Women are significantly less punished for the same crime than if a man committed it. If your girlfriend or wife goes crazy and hits you and you call the police, you are more likely to be arrested as a man than that fucking psycho. Think about how fucking crazy that one statistic is. A man who is a domestic abuse victim who calls the police is more likely to be arrested himself, even though he is the victim. Every day, there's a new like false accusation case coming out where some ugly, disgusting, like psychopathic woman accused a man of raping her, and it turns out after he's been in prison for months or for years that she's like, oh yeah, you know, I just lied. And I always read the articles and it's fucking like, it's actually blows my mind. Some of the times it says her punishment was a $1,200 fine. Imagine being put in prison at the height of your life, like, you know, at the peak of your youth. You're building a business for your family. You've been training so fucking hard, timing your fucking protein to maximize muscle gain, and imagine some random girl says that you raped her and everyone fucking believes her with no evidence whatsoever, especially if she's white and you're not white. You're fucked. You're fucked. You are fucked. That's the case of like the modern day. White girls and just women in general have got all the fucking power, and all they need to say is that they're still oppressed. We've got the privilege. Show me the privilege. Show me the privilege. Show me one privilege that we have. The what? The privilege for the men in Ukraine and Russia to be drafted and have to be stuck inside of their country whilst their women go and fuck the world, basically. Is that a privilege for the men there? The privilege for the men here that are statistically underperforming in every age group of the education system. We don't look at the education system as a blatantly sexist towards men kind of indoctrination system, but it clearly is. If every age group, every single year, females perform better than males in every year of school, every year of university, if universities are now made up of around 60 to 70% of women, if 85% of suicides are men, this is our privilege, boys. We have the privilege to kill ourselves. We have the privilege that we have the harder life. The harder life, of course we do. And then we're not even acknowledged for the pain and the suffering that we have to go through. And of course not, like we knew this all along. This is why when you see these like toxic misogyny YouTubers, we always say weird stuff that, you know, like feminists hate us for, and, you know, like soft low T soy boys hate us for, where we say like, don't open up in front of a girl, don't show that vulnerability, don't show that weakness. This is why, because if you show this weakness, it's like, they're gonna think you're fucking crazy. Here I am expressing, you know, hurt for how we have been looked at in society, for how so many, like, especially average men are treated. And they'll use this against you and say, yeah, because you're sexist, or you're this, or you're this. I was even like, I could tell you so many fucking stories, bro. I was with a girl, and she was actually pressing me hard on this, saying like, oh, well, you know, like, you men never open up, you men never do this, and that's why you'll stay alone and all this shit. And it got to the point where I realized that if I opened up to her, she would actually view me as less attractive, and then therefore want to leave the relationship. And I kind of worded that to her, and, you know, after that first conversation kind of died down, then I said to her like, oh, well, you know, like, why did you break up with your ex? And she says, oh, well, you know, because he just wasn't the same guy anymore. I was like, what do you mean? Oh, well, because, you know, he just kept on like being really sad and depressed about something, and it, you know, it's like, I'm not his mother, I'm not gonna do this. I was like, what do you mean not his mother? Well, yeah, he kept on coming over to me, you know, telling me about his problems. So he opened up to you as you say that men should, and then you broke up with him. If you don't know me, my name is Hamza. I want to help you on your self-improvement journey. So just scroll down right now, go click on the subscribe button, and you'll see more videos like this on your homepage. Now, here's the more important thing. I could make this video and just complain to you. Oh, you know, boys, times are so hard. It's so hard to get a girl. It's so hard to be like this. It's so hard to make money. For you. It's hard for you. Because you're a pussy. Because there's other men out there, like, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not unhappy. Yeah, sure, I remember those days where times were hard and everything, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't really relate to this idea of like, oh, you know, like being a man's so hard. Like, of course it's hard, but I'm not unhappy about that. There's some men, only some, and you're probably not one of them. At least you're maybe taking some steps into this. But there's some men out there who are completely and utterly happy and fulfilled. Why? Maybe 5% or 1% or 10% of men are like these sort of happy guys who aren't complaining about the current system, but most guys feel that pain of, you know, being addicted to porn, not being able to attract girls, struggling with finances. Why is there like the top 1% of men? What did they do to become happy with being a man? Like, I fucking love being a man. As much as I make these complaining videos, if I'm totally honest, I make them for you because you're still a bitch. Like, when I was at your point, I was a bitch too. We're all like, someone is looking at me thinking I'm a bitch because I'm not at his level. But when I was at your point, I was a complete and utter bitch, and I was so like unhappy with life and everything. But these days I'm completely happy. Why? Why am I part now? Only now have I gotten into the group of guys who are actually happy to actually really be a man. I'm like so fucking happy that I'm a man. I'm so fucking happy of where I am in life. Why? Because I built myself up to be like this. What I've seen from the guys who seem like they really like their lives, from the guys who don't really need to complain about, you know, men's issues other than to grow on social media to appeal to the masses, is that those guys who are successful, they have, or at least they act like they have, high testosterone. The reason why you're unhappy as a man is because you're living like you've got fucking low T. Like, you're basically, the reason why you're unhappy as a man is because you're not even living like a man should. A man should not be fucking living by himself. A man should not be living with a woman. A man should not even be living with his family. A man should be living with other men. A man should have high testosterone, at least above like 800 nanograms per deciliter. If you've never even had your testosterone checked, most likely you're closer to 500 or 400, some bakwas, some bullshit number. you barely even wake up with morning wood. Like most guys, once they get to about 20, 21, 22 years old, they basically stop having morning wood these days. Most guys, when I handshake them on the street, they handshake me like ladies. I swear to God, most guys that I meet now literally handshake me like a woman does. I'll stick my hand out like this, and they will give me their fingertips as if like this. This is how a really feminine girl will give me her hand when I'll shake it. And you know, like, what the fuck does this guy expect me to do with this little fucking cute little hand he's giving me here for a handshake? Mwah! Fucking pussy. Fuck, grab that shit. Give me a little fucking warrior. Like, what I'm saying is, there's a certain group of guys these days that are actually really liking life. And although, you know, men have got these problems, the thing is, the real men aren't fucking complaining about it unless it's for, like, basically this is for business. I wouldn't be complaining about this in my normal life because I like my normal life. But on the internet, this is business. This is me building up a social media following by appealing to your pain right now so that you can enter this kind of tribe of guys that I have here who are on self-improvement and building a happy life. But there's guys who are totally and utterly unhappy. Why? Think about it. Why are most men so unhappy with their lives? It's only because of laziness. We can throw the same cute words that women do, but we're not fucking weak. Oh, you know, fucking oppression and empowering, and no, we don't give a fuck. We'll look at ourselves with pure responsibility like men should and realize if you don't like your life as a man, it's only because you've been a lazy fuck. It's as simple as that. Because if there is someone else in your country who loves his life, who's successful, who fucks the girls that you want, who makes fuck tons of money, even if you're in fucking India, don't you fucking talk to me about India. I'm from Pakistan, but don't you fucking, all these fucking Indians fucking comment in the chat like, oh, but bro, it's easy for you. I'm in India, you know, it's hard to make money. Do you know how many fucking billionaires there are in India? So shut the fuck up, pussy. Do you know how many fucking chads there are in India? Don't do this bullshit thinking, oh, but you know, I'm in this country. Oh, you know, I'm this height, I'm this. Whatever fucking disclaimer you want to give, there's another guy who has your handicap, who's from the same country as you, who's born in the same kind of family as you, who has the same height as you, and he fucks and he makes a fuck ton of money. There's another guy who has the same excuse as you, but he didn't use it as an excuse and he's happy with his life. And then there's you, little fucking pussy limp dick life, where you're saying like, oh, but you know, it's really hard, guys, because I've got school as well. Everyone fucking had school, you pussy. So what do you want about? Like, oh, but you know, I'm trying to build a business, but I've got school, so it's really hard to manage the time. Do you know how many fucking young kids are making money in business these days? Shut up, pussy. If you're not happy as a man right now, I promise there is nothing other than just the consequences of your actions. You can call me an asshole for this, but I believe that men deserve how they feel. If you're depressed, if you're anxious, if you feel insecure, you fucking deserve it. You deserve it. If you're feeling suicidal, you deserve it. The reason why is because you have done the actions to get yourself there. Like a completely brain dead moron, you keep fucking like staying inside all day, not acting like a human being, not exercising, not getting sunlight, not speaking to other human beings, not even eating real food, and then you're there thinking like, oh gosh, I don't want to live, guys. You fucking deserve to feel that way. Now you can look at me so like some psychopathic evil person, or you could ask the most intelligent question you could ask right now. Well then, what do I have to do to deserve to not feel like this? What do I have to do so that I deserve to feel amazing? Now you're thinking really smart. So let me answer that question for you. What do you have to do to deserve to feel amazing, fulfilled, purposeful, and satisfied with life? You need to have a mission, a purpose, a massive goal that you are striving towards, a huge goal. Like, for example, completely changing the shape of your body through like, you know, some massive fitness transformation, making so much money that you can retire your parents, changing the lives of thousands of people in your country. When you set a big goal, it gives your life purpose and meaning. And then that's what starts to give you the drive to wake up a little bit earlier, to resist those bad habits that you've got. That's how you deserve to feel awesome, is you discover your purpose as a man and you start to work on that like a fucking dog relentlessly. And then naturally you're living a healthy life, which of course then starts to like regulate those, you know, those biological things like hormones, and suddenly your dopamine and serotonin are getting healthy, because when you've got that big purpose, that big goal, you don't go and fuck around on Instagram Reels or something anymore. You don't go and watch porn. You know, like you probably are on NoFap now, but you still watch porn probably like once a week or some bullshit. You don't do that when you discover your real purpose. That's the secret. So even though I sound like an asshole, like the truth is like, bro, I'm on your fucking side. I want to see my generation of men just become productive members of society, because just think about how much fucking human potential we're missing right now. Think about it. Our generation of men, what, 80% of them are literally living like maniacs, right? 80% of them eat fake poisonous food, garbage that they get from the supermarket or from McDonald's or some weird shit. They don't even drink fucking water, bro. Most guys our age don't even drink water. Most guys, all they do is just give themselves ADHD from short form content and then take medication, which then stops their dick from working. Like that's the common experience for what, 25-30% of men around the world these days. Think about how much like human productivity we're missing out of just because men are weak. You can see why I fucking work as hard as I do on these videos in my entire like business entrepreneurship career over the last few years, because of how purposeful this is for me. When I just told you, you need to go and find, you know, your purpose, this big goal that you could be helping other people. This is my act of that. I like to record these videos because I feel like I, in some ways, have a gift of like explaining things or of ranting and giving advice to guys and of basically just calling you a pussy because it pisses you off and you don't like to be called a pussy by me. And so it starts to actually create this kind of masculine energy inside of you where you're like, wait, this guy's calling me a pussy. I don't want to be seen as a pussy. I'm going to go and work a little bit harder today. That's why I'm making these videos. That's why if you're not feeling happy right now, if you're feeling depressed, suicidal, anxious, unhappy, unsatisfied, bored, whatever it is, change it. You literally, as a man, you have this God-given gift that you can choose how to feel just based on the actions that you want to take right now. So if you're not feeling happy, go and do the things that you know would make a human happy. And you don't have to like be confused and think, what would make it? You fucking know, bro. Go, when was the last time you jumped over a puddle? Remember when we were kids and like life was this beautiful, wholesome like journey, and you were exploring with like your family. You'd go to parks and there was like, you'd pick out a leaf and you'd look at the leaf and there'd be like a little insect on it and you'd play with it and you'd jump over puddles and you climb trees. When was the last time you fucking climbed a tree? When was the last time you wrestled your brother or you wrestled your father or you wrestled just any other guy and you were just laughing with each other, you dropped them to the floor, you picked them back up? You haven't done any of that for years and then you're wondering why you don't feel the same as a child. I fucking feel like a child. I am literally in such a joyful state through the day that I randomly will start smiling and even start laughing like a psychopath because I'll just get like happy feelings and happy memories. I deserve to feel like that because I've put the work in. I've done like probably 1,000 hours of meditation so that my brain feels kind of sharp and not like the ADHD bullshit that most people feel. My diet is so fucking clean. If you saw my diet, you would be so impressed of how clean my diet is. Sometimes I won't lie to you, I'll fuck up. Sometimes I'll be eating, chocolate and restaurant food and whatever. But when I'm in that fucking like grind mode, my diet is so clean. That means that my brain performs so well that I don't even remember what it's like to have like the modern day ADHD that you probably have. You can barely read one sentence of a book before your brain starts wandering, right? If me and you were having a conversation, your brain would fart and you'd start thinking about some fucked up shit from like high school or childhood, right? My brain stays present when I'm doing something. I have not had a single thought in my mind for the last 20 minutes whilst recording this. Guarantee you've had thoughts in your mind whilst watching this. I haven't had any. I'll spend time with people and I promise you, I literally get zero thoughts with them. I'm in a complete flow state. So of course, I feel happy as fuck. Now, don't see this as me bragging, but see the cause and effect of this. The cause of this effect was that I did the work. I found my purpose. I found the big mission that I wanted to work on. I wanted to just help my generation of men to just improve themselves because of how much this journey has meant for me. When I make these videos and I'm shouting at you, calling you a pussy, I'm basically just shouting at my younger self because I wanted to wake him up earlier. I didn't have Hamza growing up. There was no videos or good influences back then. There was no content like this back then. So I'm hoping that if there's other guys around the world who see this, it helps you to wake up. It helps you to create this masculine, hard lifestyle that you wanted. That sounds awesome, but then you need a plan. You need an actual step-by-step, what the fuck do I do to actually create a happy life? That's why I released the Adonis Protocol. Top link in the description, completely free. It's a complete self-improvement plan to create a new version of your life. Guys are getting onto it. We've had over 100,000 guys get onto it. You do crazy shit like trim all your hair off and feel like you're in the military. You're doing hard workouts every day. You're improving your diet. You're starting a business and everything. I could have sold this as for $500 or $1,000. It's an online course. I'm giving it to you for free because I just want to help you. Top link in the description. Go scroll down and go click on that right now. Click and watch this video. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah!